In this video, we're going to show the assembly process of a Pros Pick Smoothie Tailgate. These tailgates are available for every year, make and model of bed that we build. They are typically assembled on a Pros Pick bed. If you did want to assemble it on an original bed or another manufacturer's bed, give us a call and we can work through the details to get you set up with that. Just like our beds, these tailgates are made out of 16 gauge satin coated steel. They come epoxy primed, just with some assembly required. Typically we would do this with the cross member mounted on the bed. In this case we're going to do it on the table so it's easier to show. So we've got the cross member sitting here with the back of the cross member facing me. I'm going to lay that down so the top of the cross member is now facing me. The tailgate is laying with the inside of the tailgate facing up, and we're going to go ahead and first install the hinges to the cross member. You need the hinges with the rounded part facing the front of the truck and the flat end of the bronze bushing facing the inside of the truck. It's going to go in here and mount near this mounting bracket. Now you're going to need your hinge pin and your little bushing. You start by feeding the pin into the bracket on the cross member and inserting the bushing, then feeding it through the hinge and lining it up with the hole on the outside bracket. From here, you can take a hammer, gently tap the pin into place. Now with both hinges installed on either side, you can go ahead and slide the hinge up into the slots on the bottom of the tailgate. You're going to push it in to where these holes in the hinge line up with the slots on the tailgate. From there, you can go ahead and install the hinge. So this will give you a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like and how it's going to work when it's all together. That would be open, and that's closed. And you can see the nice smooth profile on the back of the truck. Now that we've covered installing the hinges into the cross member and then into the tailgate, we're going to go ahead and install the latching and the strap system. With the latches, just slide the spring in first, followed by the pin. You're going to just have to push it up against the spring until your hole lines up, and then you can screw your knob in. Now we can move on to installing the straps. The first step for that is to mount it to the tailgate first. So you want to make sure the straps have a bit of a bend in them, so you want to make sure that the strap is coming away from the tailgate. The holes in here are threaded already. Using the stainless hardware provided, you can install these. Once you have the straps mounted to the tailgate, we're going to take the steps to mount the other end of the strap to the bedside. We're going to drill a hole in here to insert a nutsert. The exact location doesn't matter too much as long as you're within the pocket so that you don't see the hole from the outside of the bed. The best way to do this is to have a straight edge running from the floor of the bed out across the tailgate, so you can hold your tailgate up to the point where it's level with the floor of the bed, and then holding your strap to the bedside, mark the location where you want to drill your hole. When you move to the other side, it's best to take some measurements from the bottom and from the back. Maybe mark that on the bedside, then hold up the other strap, and it should be quite close, and that way you'll get them in the same spot. Once you have the position of the strap marked with a marker, you can drill a pilot hole using a 1/8 drill bit and then drill it out to 25/64. That will give you the correct size of hole for the 1/4 inch nut sert. When you get to final assembly on the check straps, when you're putting your bolts in for the last time, you can put blue Loctite on there. You want to make sure that you have some movement with your buckle on here as well as on the tailgate. Now we're going to move to installing the striker plate. To do this, you're going to want to slide it in behind the nylon striker, get it centered on the striker. Once it's in place, you want to get a good push on the back of the tailgate, getting it nice and snug to the back of the bedside. Then you go ahead and mark your holes with a marker. Then you can take it apart and drill your holes. Once you've got your striker plate holes marked and drilled, you get a screw with your kit. It's the only single hex-headed screw in the hardware kit. You want to use that essentially to tap out the holes before you screw the striker plate on. Once you have your holes tapped, you can go ahead and use the Phillips head screws to attach the striker plate to the bedside. The foam tape that's supplied can be cut to length based on the height of the tailgate. Typically, you want to hold off on installing this till you're painted. You do not need it installed for mock-up or dry fitting. But when you do install it, you want to keep it tight to the outside of the tailgate along this very outer lip. And that wraps up the installation of the ProSpic Smoothie Tailgate.